Across the scorched, sun-baked plains of the African savanna, an invisible massacre takes place every single day. While lions and leopards claim the spotlight of high-stakes pursuits, the real threat to Africa's iconic wildlife is microscopic, silent, and relentlessly cruel. Ticks. Millions upon millions of bloat-crazed parasites carpet the tall grass, waiting for the vibration of a passing host. For a cheetah, the fastest land mammal on Earth, these tiny blood-sucking vampires are not merely an annoyance. They are a death sentence. Picture a top predator, built for explosive bursts of high-speed pursuit, paralyzed by sheer infestation. Ticks crawl by the hundreds into the delicate skin behind its ears, along its soft underbelly, inside the creases of its eyelids, and between its padded paws. They slice through flesh with saw-like mouth parts, anchoring themselves with a cement-like saliva.
The proboscis penetrates the vein,
wound.
releasing powerful toxins.
As they feed, they inject paralyzing toxins and debilitating blood-borne pathogens, steadily leaching the fluid that fuels the hunter's heart. A tick-ridden predator loses its edge. Its speed drops, its reaction time slows, infection sets in, and soon, the supreme sprinter of the plains is reduced to a weak, crawling shadow, unable to hunt or defend itself against scavengers. The cheetah cannot use hands or tools to pick them off. It can scratch, bite, or roll in the dust, but these frantic efforts rarely dislodge an anchored tick. Nature, however, has engineered a remarkably bizarre, hyper-specialized solution, one that arrives on wings, bearing sharp claws, dagger-like beaks, and an appetite for blood. From the dry acacia brush, a harsh, chattering call echoes through the heat haze. Down sweeps a flock of red-billed oxpeckers. To a human observer, these brown birds might appear as gentle helpers, harmless feathered friends stepping in to save an apex predator in distress. But nature rarely operates on human definitions of kindness. What is about to unfold is not a compassionate rescue. It is an exercise in ruthless evolutionary opportunistic survival. The oxpeckers drop out of the sky and land directly on the cheetah's back. Clinging tightly to the fur with needle-sharp curved talons, the birds immediately get to work. They walk vertically up and down the cat's lithe body like feathered woodpeckers climbing the trunk of a tree. They move toward the areas of highest infestation, the neck, the stomach, and the delicate, sensitive skin around the eyes. Using a unique sideways motion of their flattened beaks, a behavior known to biologists as scissoring, the oxpeckers comb through the thick coat. When a bird pinpoints an engorged, swollen tick, it clamps down with powerful jaws and pulls. The tick's anchor yields with a sickening pop, and the parasite is swallowed whole. For the oxpecker, a single bloated tick is a dense packet of fat, protein, and iron. In a single day, an adult oxpecker can consume up to 100 fully engorged female ticks, or thousands of tiny larvae before they ever have the chance to attach. For the cheetah, the immediate relief is profound. The constant agonizing itch and toxin overload begin to recede as the bird systematically harvests the parasites crawling across its skin. Yet this partnership is far darker than a simple favor between species. The red-billed oxpecker is not a selfless paramedic. It is a facultative parasite in its own right, a creature that blurs the line between mutual helper and bloodthirsty vampire. As the birds strip away the ticks, they frequently break through the skin, opening fresh wounds. Instead of moving on, the oxpeckers often use their sharp beaks to hack at the open flesh, actively drinking the host's blood and eating the scabbed tissues. Blood is rich in red blood cells and salt, providing the birds with a crucial source of liquid energy in an arid landscape. If a host animal does not have enough ticks, oxpeckers will deliberately keep existing wounds open, tapping into the living creature like a faucet to drink their fill. This leaves the host in an intense evolutionary compromise. The cheetah must endure the sharp, stinging pecks of the birds cutting into its hide, because the alternative, being slowly drained and paralyzed by an unchecked tick infestation, is far more lethal. Pain is traded for survival. Beyond their morbid surgical diet, red-billed oxpeckers offer their hosts another critical evolutionary asset: an early warning system. Predators like cheetahs, despite their agility, are highly vulnerable to larger, more aggressive carnivores like hyenas or lions while resting or recovering. Cheetahs have exceptional vision, but they lack a full 360-degree view when exhausted after a hunt. The oxpeckers, perched high on the cheetah's shoulders, maintain a constant, vigilant scan of the surrounding tall grass. The moment an approaching threat breaks the horizon, the birds react instantly. They release a sharp, piercing hiss, a distinct alarm call that vibrates across the brush. Before a lion can close the distance for an ambush, the cheetah hears the oxpecker's shrill warning, leaps to its feet, and bolts into the distance. The birds take flight, riding the draft created by the fleeing cat, before settling back down to continue their gory feast once the danger is past. This dynamic demonstrates the intricate balancing act of the African savanna. No creature exists in isolation. The microscopic tick, the majestic cheetah, and the blood-drinking bird are locked in an eternal cycle of conflict and cooperation. If the ticks overpopulate, host species weaken and collapse. If the oxpeckers consume too many ticks or inflict excessive damage on the host's skin, the balance tips toward outright parasitism. But when functioning in equilibrium, this gruesome relationship keeps the savanna's top sprinters healthy enough to maintain their place at the top of the food chain. Without the red-billed oxpecker's ruthless appetite for blood and parasites, entire populations of big cats, ungulates, and megafauna would succumb to the silent, crawling tide beneath the grass. What appears on the surface as a simple bird picking at a wild animal is actually one of the wilderness's most terrifying, fascinating, and brutal survival mechanisms. In the wild, relief rarely comes with a gentle touch. It comes with sharp talons, a tearing beak, and an appetite for living flesh.